All right, Tennessee Titans fans, what is going on? I got a video just for you guys reacting to Robert Saleh's press conference at the NFL Combine. This is take two of this reaction video. I watched the first couple of minutes, like first 2.5 minutes, didn't go any further, but I've trying my hardest to understand what these reporters are saying. If you guys have already watched it, or if you guys haven't watched it, trying to listen to what the reporters are asking, like what questions they're asking, it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. I'm trying my hardest. My headphones are at their max volume. My ears are like almost about to hurt because of how loud this is, but I have no choice. I'm trying my best here to hear the question, but really going to try and focus on what Robert Saleh says in his answers, obviously, but the questions are very important for establishing the context for what he's talking about. But we're going to try our best here. We're going to make it work. And if you like videos like these, make sure to leave a comment, like, and subscribe if you guys don't mind. But without further ado, let's break it down. Let's get into it.
What's up, guys? You know what? I guess I've never looked at it in seconds. I've looked at it in hitches. If a quarterback hitches, he's got to smell your breath. So.
Mike Bergonzi, okay.
I joked with him the other day. He's had those guys in 7 days a week, about 12 hours a day. So he's been. It's like, you know, even a coach takes Friday night and takes the wife out once in a while. So he's relentless in that regard.
It's good to hear for Mike Bergonzi that he's a relentless worker.
In any situation, you're always going to try to improve the roster, and you're always going to evaluate everything that you do. And so, as far as what we're going to attack, we'll keep that in house. But there's never going to be a situation where we're not trying to improve in any facet of football.
I want to stop for a second because a lot of these questions that are general level, it's kind of hard to really give analysis. I can't wait for him to talk about players. I want to hear like what he has to say about players. Keep tuned for that. I'm really interested in that.
No, you know, if anything, it almost cost Dave the job. You know, we interviewed about 8 linebackers coaches, and you know, but Dave was clearly the best one. He's coached some great linebackers in this league, and we're excited to have him aboard.
Can barely hear this, by the way. I can barely hear the question.
You know, there's workouts, there's talking ball with these guys. There's a lot of things to be done, and it's not just going to happen here. There's pro days, there's 30 visits, there's conversations on Zoom that we're going to be able to have with these young men, and but it's all encompassing. It's not just their ability to run a 40. It's their ability to understand the game of football, and so there's a lot of things that'll go on between now and draft day.
Can't even hear what this reporter's asking. I'm sorry.
No, that's a really good question. There's always going to be a push for that. I know the league is working relentlessly to try to figure it out. Do I have an answer for you right now? I don't. But I know the people at the league office, it's very important to them. I know it's important to the owners of this league, and I know that they'll continually try to figure it out.
Absolute nothing burger of a comment. Couldn't no context as to what Saul was talking about. I couldn't even hear the reporter.
You know, San Francisco, it's a championship organization. Championship ownership, championship head coach, championship GM, championship everything. And, you know, just to be able to go back there, having been a head coach, and to go back there to piece the puzzle together of what a championship organization looks like and how it operates. Just grateful that I was given that opportunity to do that again, and everything that I learned, obviously, hopefully we can take it to this next step. Well, you know, a lot of people know this already. Gus is like a second dad to me. You know, he's had such an amazing impact on my life, and not to mention he is in my opinion, one of the better D coordinators in all of football. And so to be able to have him on staff, especially through this cycle where there was a lot of competition for his services, is a blessing for all of us. So.
It's very interesting how Gus Bradley chose the Tennessee Titans to be a teacher for Robert Saleh's defense, not even calling plays. He turned down an opportunity to be the defensive coordinator for the Cardinals and call plays to be here being a teacher to Robert Saleh's defense. Says a lot about where the Titans stand as an organization, and it says a lot that a lot of these coaches, including Brian Daboll, Robert Saleh, had multiple offers with other teams, some of which would seem like more favorable situations, yet they still chose to come to the Titans. Says a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do from a drill standpoint. There's tape. We have a style of tackling that we developed a while back ago with Pete Carroll over in Seattle that has been good to us. And we're a shoulder leverage tackling team that we took from rugby, which takes the head out of the game. And so there's certain things that we'll teach and we'll encourage, and there's things that we'll rep constantly to get guys better at it.
Hey, Robert.
Okay.
I don't know if fit's the right word. There's a lot of guys in our system have taken the mold of different shapes, sizes. For us, we just look for guys who can play the game of football and play it at a very, very high level. And there are things that are non-negotiables, but those are very rare and few in between.
Good answer.
Say it one more time.
Look at that. Even Saleh can't hear these guys talk. Get these guys a mic. Jesus.
Well, it's a long answer. There's a lot of things that you learn on the job. I've said it to a bunch of people before. There's no manual for a first time at anything you do. Like there's no first time manual for you too. And I'm sure you can look back at your first day and recognize that you're a lot better today than you were back then. And I could say that I'm much more prepared now than I've ever been, and just looking forward to this opportunity.
That's a really good answer from Robert Saleh, and that's like why I'm so excited, because he's right. There is no manual for the first time you do something, and Jake the dog once said, if you guys watch Adventure Time, before you're really good at something, you kind of have to before you are good at something, you kind of have to kind of be good at something. I can't remember the exact quote, but pretty much like you have to be bad before you can be good. You have to learn in order to get better. And so to see Robert Saleh say that, acknowledge that, and say that he's more prepared than he's ever been, that gives me confidence that he's learned from his shortcomings as a head coach from his time with the New York Jets to now being a much better head coach, just like a certain Titans head coach that just did the same thing in Mike Vrabel. Food for thought. Oh, we're getting a question about Femi. See, I can actually hear the reporter now.
Yeah, with a young man like Femi, it wasn't that he was just being evaluated by 3-4 teams. We evaluated him as a 4-3 defensive end whose hand was in the ground. And,
really?
For him, he's got all the talent in the world. He's got length, he's got speed, he's got pass rush ability, he plays with violence. He's a good football player. And, for him, it's just going to be transferring to getting your hand in the ground and going vertical every snap rather than having to think about coverages and all that. So,
really? Femi's going to be an edge rusher full time?
Obviously, there's going to be a learning curve for him even in that role, and there's going to be a lot of coaching and a lot of work on his part to get himself better every single day. And I think he's got the mindset and the physical ability to do that.
That's insane. That's insane. Femi Oladejo is going to be an edge rusher. Yes. Yes. I love Femi Oladejo. Love the player. Love the person. Going to being a full-time edge rusher, that's an incredible choice. And right there, everything Robert said about Femi, it's exactly why you want him as an edge rusher. He's fast, he's physical, he is very strong, relentless personality too. I mean, he is a perfect fit to be an edge rusher in Robert Saleh's defense, obviously schematically and with everything that we just laid out right there as a person for Femi. I think this is going to be a great thing. It also would eliminate a need for another starting edge, so it makes me wonder, now that you have a young edge in Femi on one side, where do you go in the draft? Do you still draft Ruben Bain, David Bailey, maybe Orville Reese? If he's on the board at 4, do you draft one of those guys? Or do you, say, sign Trey Hendrickson in free agency? Those are your 2 starting edges. And then you maybe trade down out of number 4 if you can find a trade partner and take, I don't know, a Jeremiah Love, maybe, right? Get some more value out of that. Maybe take an edge rusher in round 2 that has some high upside. I don't know. That changes things a little bit for how the Titans will attack the offseason with Femi being a full-time edge rusher and not as a linebacker of any kind.
On that note, some other young players on the defense, a guy like
And it's Tyler Rowland. Check that out.
Talked about how he fits in your defense. A guy like
know that voice from anywhere.
A little big nickel last year. That's something that you'll work in those 3 safety packages. How would you say a guy like T'Vondre Sweat and Kevin Winston fit within your defense?
Sweat will be interesting.
Yeah, I'll address Sweat first. We had a guy in 2000. I want to say 20. I think it was 23, maybe 22. Al Woods, who's
big Al Woods. Remember that former Titan.
Obviously it's going to be we're going to ask things of him that are different than what he's done in the past. But one thing he has shown on tape is he can get numbers, which we need our D-line to be able to do. They need to be able to run, and that is something that he can do. He's a big man. He's got much faster feet than people realize. Is it going to be easy for him? It's not. It is a lot of work. It is physically demanding to play D-line in our system. But I do think he's up to the task. I've had great conversations with him, and I'm excited to see him get to work.
This is a really cool answer from Robert Saleh working with T'Vondre Sweat. So he said that T'Vondre Sweat is going to have a hard time transitioning to his new role in Robert Saleh's defense. And so that's obviously going to be a change. Obviously, T'Vondre Sweat has not been known to be a 3-down player. He is a 2-down player. Sometimes he's in on 3rd and short. But if Robert Saleh's defense, your 4 defensive linemen have to be 3-down players most of the time. So T'Vondre Sweat will have to evolve his game. He's going to have to get healthier. He's obviously going to work out with Jeffrey Simmons this offseason. That's pretty well documented at this point. But to see him praise T'Vondre Sweat, his athletic ability as a defensive tackle or rushing from the interior, if he believes that T'Vondre Sweat can put in the work and get the best out of himself so Robert Saleh can get the best out of Sweat, I'm confident in that. T'Vondre Sweat is still a young, very talented player, and I believe that he deserves a shot to compete for a starting spot on this football team. I know people have talked about trading T'Vondre Sweat because he's not a scheme fit. Well, T'Vondre Sweat is a player that you meld your scheme around. Someone like that really doesn't come around very often in terms of who he is as a person, build, speed, strength. So I want to see T'Vondre Sweat on the field. I want to see him develop and do well. Best of luck to him. Nice to see that Robert Saleh is going to be willing to do whatever it takes to get him to that spot.
In 2021, you became the first Muslim head coach in NFL history. Now that you took the head coaching position again, what does that really mean to you, and how do you take that to Tennessee?
It's cool. Forgive me, I'm not very good at talking about myself, but I recognize the impact in my community, and I appreciate the impact that it has. And if there's anything I could ever do to pay it forward to my community, I'd always be there to do that. So,
love the answer.
Well, that's the thing. Is like it's not just their ability to run a 40, Paul. It's being able to absorb the playbook and play without thought. It's going to be our job as coaches to be able to extract every ounce of their physical ability, and that's going to start in phase 1 of OTAs, just getting them in the meeting rooms, then to the grass, and then in the practice, and getting them to see as many pitchers as they can, get them as many reps as they can to allow them to play as fast as they possibly could. So again, it's a team thing. It's not just their ability to go out there and run around and play fast. It's our ability to allow them to unlock all their physical ability as players.
There you go.
Guys are they sending players maybe that can come in and fulfill a 3 or 4 year contract, to fill holes now with maybe some older guys just to get the roster up to the level it needs to be?
You're talking about free agency? You're looking every which way you can. You're not just going to you never want to limit yourself or put yourself in a box with regards to what you're looking for. If it's a young guy, it's a young guy. If it's a veteran, it's a veteran. If they can play the game of football and they can improve your roster, you're always going to take a peek at it.
Robert, as we see the running back position being devalued, where are you as far as how important running back is to the offense, especially this year with a guy like Jeremiah Love, possibly top 5?
Yeah.
This is like the second or third question I've actually heard clearly from start to finish, by the way, and we are about 9 minutes out of 16. Yes, we're more than halfway through. This is the third question I've been able to hear clearly from start to finish. Pretty crazy, right?
I just had a year with Christian McCaffrey. I think he had over 400 touches, so, if they're 3-down players and they can impact the game and they can create mismatches out on the perimeter as well as run the ball the way they do, guys like Jahmyr Gibbs, Christian, I'm sure there's a few more. They're tremendous assets to the football team.
I love this answer talking about Jeremiah Love because, like I said when we were talking about Femi, if the Titans decide to trade down, I want Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love is going to be a fantastic football player. It does not matter that you're taking him a little bit higher than what you should because the value of the running back position not being in a high spot right now. But at the same time, this is not a great draft class. It's pretty well documented. This draft class, honestly, at the top, is not very good compared to other draft classes. A lot of these top 10 prospects that are going in this spot, in any other draft, they'd go middle, late first round. So, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to pick a player at the right now just because, you're probably not going to get an elite football player at the top of the draft. And that's unfortunate, but you got to pick somebody. You can't just pick nobody. But Jeremiah Love is one of these few players that I think at the top of the draft could be a really, really, really good football player. And the Titans don't have a lot of good football players. So they need good football players. It doesn't really matter where they're getting it from right now. They're still rebuilding. So any good player they can take, I will be happy with, and I would be ecstatic about Jeremiah Love. I love the guy. He is a great football player. He would make the Titans run game with Brian Daboll in year one elite. It would make it elite in year one. I believe that. I believe that in all my heart. But gotta love it. Love Jeremiah Love. Love the answer that he's giving him praise. Leaves it open to possibility that they take him.
We've had many conversations.
I'm sorry, guys. You that popping sound? Right there, was that a clap? It may have just been a clap. I don't know. I got ADHD, so you got ADHD when you immediately just hear a sound. You're like, wait, what is that? That's pretty funny.
We've had many conversations, and to be honest, you're going to continue to push the scheme, and you're going to continue to develop what you have. And like I said, we're going to go through OTAs, we're going to go through training camp, and no different than the players learning us, we're going to learn our players, and we'll continue to tweak our scheme based on who we have and what they're capable of doing, and we're just going to keep fine-tuning it until kickoff of week one.
Robert, what does a successful offseason look like for you for Cam specifically?
For Cam?
Okay.
You know what, for Cam, it's always going to come down to, I said it before, we're going to take him back to his rookie year, just to square one. A lot of these rookies, when they get into when they join the team, you're already halfway through phase 2, and you're kind of playing you're in a sprint to try to get them ready for training camp and for week 1. We can kind of take more of a marathon approach with them where we've got phase 1, we've got phase 2, we've got different ways we can approach them between now and week 1 to get them prepared. So just taking those baby steps, learning everything it takes to be a quarterback, not just on the field but off the field. So again, just him being his best and getting better every single day will be good enough.
Love that answer for Cam.
One thing I appreciate, he's in there every day, he's working out, but I don't think there's a day that he goes by without popping in, saying hello. I think he knows everybody in the building's name, which I think is impressive for a young quarterback, for a young man just in general. He's very personable. It is very important to him. That building is very, very, very important to him, and and you can tell that he wants to lead it, and he's learning every single day what it takes to be a leader. And there's no doubt, I've said it before, a man who's built the way he is, who's wired the way he is, who works the way he does, it's very rare that those people don't find success. So we're excited to get to work with them.
Ha ha ha! That right there, Titans fans, that's my quarterback. That's your quarterback. That is our quarterback. What a dude. Every time I hear someone talk about Cam, it's just glowing. It's just glowing reviews. Other than like the last time like they had a controversy when he sat out at halftime at the Pop-Tarts Bowl in his last game in college, right? It got a lot of flack for that, but it obviously later came out that there was the coaching staff's plan to do that, not Cam's. But I mean, ever since that, I mean, you haven't heard one bad thing. One bad, not even one like mid or neutral thing about Cam. It's all been glowing, high praise. Cam Ward is a great dude. He's going to be a great quarterback. Hearing stuff like that tells me how much he wants it, how much he cares, and that makes me feel so excited and hopeful as a Tennessee Titans fan. It really does.
When you're evaluating the edge position, how much is arm length factor in that?
Again, that's really every position. Arm length is always going to be key, especially with a team like us that plays more of a zone style. Those long arms close up passing windows and do all the different things that we ask them to do. But so it's really every position. Arm length is always a big deal. Yeah, Rudy was, if Gus wasn't our coordinator, he was going to be our coordinator here. Outstanding human, outstanding individual. He's going to bring so much juice and energy. He is as authentic gets. He's elite with regards to the pass game and from a defensive standpoint. And
talking about a coach
he's
here,
walking
apparently.
into a situation where he's already got an elite staff in place. Guys like Tarver and their DB room and their D-line coach, they're outstanding. And I think he's going to be a fantastic addition. Really proud of him. Really excited for his out.
What stood out about the offensive coordinator?
Mike LaFleur. Again, he's, an outstanding football mind. I thought he did a great job when he was our coordinator. Thought he's done a great job just evolving.
That's interesting that he thought he did a great job. I mean, I know you can't trash your coaches, right? Like you can't trash your coworkers, but Mike LaFleur did not do a good job as the OC with the New York Jets. Absolutely not. It's one of those things, obviously, you can't say anything bad, but it's still really funny to hear it out loud.
His ability to coach the game and evolving his scheme with Sean. I thought they did a great job over there. Obviously, Stafford is a quarterback, but what they did offensively was special, especially this year. But you're getting a guy who understands the game of football, understands people. Really looking forward to seeing how he does.
How much does that play your relationship with guys who maybe coached in the past or maybe guys
Still can't hear the reporters.
I think some of it matters, but it's not the only thing that matters. There's relationships that were built in the draft. There's through the draft process. There's relationships that were built just through time in the NFL. But is it part of it? For sure. Is it the only thing? It's not.
What would you say your relationship is developing since you've been coming head coach of the Titans with Jeffrey Simmons and Cam Williams?
The best we can with the rules of the off season, where communication is limited to hello and goodbye for the most part. But like I said, Cam's been in there every day. I've been able to meet up with Jeffrey a couple of times, but
Really?
I'm just looking forward to getting these guys in here full time so we can continue to build our relationships.
So they're not allowed to talk football or anything? What? Why? There's rules. So you can only say hi, really say hi and goodbye. You can't talk scheme? I'm confused right now. I'm sorry. What? Why? Why can't they talk about scheme? It's talking. It's not like they're out there working out like on the grass, right? They can't like watch film together. They can't do that. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. That's why. Like what? I don't know. Someone in the comments tell me if you guys know the answer to this. Like why right now? Like you can't like work on film or talk about football. Like that makes no sense to me. That's just so stupid, man. What the heck is that rule? I want to know what it is.
That you're looking for a guy who can come in and win football games for you if something happens to the starter. A guy who's going to be a tremendous, who's going to support the starter, who's going to support his team, who's going to prepare like a starter.
Backup quarterback.
You're
Tua.
really looking for another starter.
Tua would be a great option. I'm telling you. Go check that video out, by the way.
Met him. Had a really good conversation with him the other day. My one exposure to him was back in 24. We played him in week 2. I do think he's got tremendous talent. He's got tremendous size, tremendous arm strength. Again, I'm looking forward to him. I'll tell you guys the same thing I told him. Just attack this offseason, have the best offseason of your life, and compete your butt off, and let's see what happens. But really looking forward to him being part of this football team.
That was Will Levis he was talking about. Honestly, that's a great answer. Again, of course, Robert Saleh is full of great answers in this one. But honestly, that's the best thing for Will Levis. He's right. Just attack the offseason as hard as you can and have the best offseason of your life. And for Will Levis' sake, please do. Not just so you can, get, look good and get us a better draft pick when we trade you away, but also for your sake, have the best offseason, be healthy, and whatever opportunity you go to next, whatever team you go to next, hey, man, knock it out of the park. Best of luck to Will Levis. Still have respect for him, even though things did not go well in his time here in Tennessee. But best of luck to him anyways. Almost wrapped up here.
Oh, yeah. I know Houston's going to punch you in the mouth.
Yep.
I know Jacksonville's playing with a lot of confidence, and they've got a head coach, an offense, and a defense and a special teams unit that complements each other very, very well. And I know Indianapolis, before the injuries, was probably the bell of the ball. Was running the division there for a minute. So it is ultra competitive. 3 tremendous head coaches, 3 tremendous staffs. So we're looking forward to getting our opportunity to compete.
Well, and there you have it. That is the Robert Saleh press conference at the NFL Combine. And quite frankly, this just gets me way more excited for this season, man. Femi Oladejo, full-time edge rusher. Love that. Seeing how T'Vondre Sweat's going to fit into the defense and how hard he's going to have to work to get there. Really love that information. Hearing him talk about Cam Ward and the glowing reviews of how much he's been in the building, how much he's working, right? He's still nursing that AC joint sprain or whatever it is in his arm. So to see that he's still in the building every single day and popping in and saying hello, that stuff just gets me so fired up. And a couple other answers there that were really good by Robert Saleh. Of course, once again, L Titans media team for not having mics for their reporters. I don't know when they're going to figure this out. I don't know when the light bulb is going to click, but at some point it has to, right? Maybe. Who knows? But that is going to do it. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. If you made it this far, please consider hitting the like button and subscribe button. Helps me out a lot. Also, leave a comment on what you thought about this press conference and what Robert Saleh said about all the talking points in this video. So, once again, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys oh so very much, and I will see you all next time.